Welcome, everyone. In a world that's just full of constant noise and information, it's amazing how some of the most profound guidance can come in these really small packages. Today, we're going to explore a piece of timeless wisdom all about self-control and contentment, and it's all held within just 4 ancient Chinese characters. It's true, sometimes the most powerful ideas aren't found in long, complicated texts. Instead, they're distilled into these short, elegant phrases. And they aren't just words to be memorized. Think of them more like invitations. Invitations to think a little more deeply about how we actually live our lives. So here it is. This is the idiom we'll be exploring today. Let's really take our time with it and look at each character, one by one, to truly understand its meaning. We'll let each one have its own moment. The first character is Shi. Think of it as a sense of what is suitable, what's fitting for the moment. It's that feeling of rightness. Now we add the second, Ke. This character brings a sense of what is possible, what is permissible, or what one is able to do. So when you put them together, Shi Ke, it suggests finding that sweet spot of what is both appropriate and possible. The third character, Er, is small, but it's so important. It's a connector. It's kind of like a quiet breath or a bridge, linking what came before to what's about to come next. And finally, we arrive at Zhi, a character of beautiful simplicity. It is the simple, powerful act of stopping, of just coming to a halt. So when you put them all together, Shi Ke Er Zhi means to stop when the appropriate point is reached. It's the wisdom of knowing when enough is truly enough and not pushing things too far. Now, you might think this kind of wisdom comes from some epic battle or a royal decree, but as is so often the case, it comes from a very simple, everyday moment. This one, from the life of the sage Confucius. So let's imagine the scene, a lively dinner among neighbors in ancient China. These gatherings were really the heart of community life, a place of generosity and connection. The tables are just overflowing with food, and the host is serving home-brewed spirits with so much pride and warmth. And right in the middle of all this abundance, you see Confucius, who's just a picture of calm self-mastery. He drinks, but only until he feels a slight buzz, and then he puts his cup down. He enjoys the meat, which was a luxury, but he makes sure to eat less of it than his staple grains. The moment he feels full, he stops. And, maybe most importantly, he doesn't just rush off. He waits patiently, respecting the host and the other guests, until everyone has finished their meal. Centuries later, the great scholar Zhu Xi looked back at this simple story. And for him, this wasn't just about good table manners. No, he saw in Confucius's actions a profound lesson about the human heart and that struggle we all have against our own desires. It was actually Zhu Xi's commentary on this very story that gave us the idiom we use today. His words are what really unlock the deeper meaning of what Confucius was doing. In English, his observation translates to this. See, Zhu Xi realized that knowing when to stop isn't just about physical moderation. It points to a cultivated inner state, a freedom from the pull of greed, that constant, nagging desire for just a little bit more. This challenge, this internal negotiation of knowing when to stop, it certainly wasn't unique to ancient feasts. It's a fundamental part of our modern lives, even though the temptations look very, very different now. Think about it. Confucius faced the temptation of one more drink, one more piece of meat. We face the temptation of sending one more email at midnight, one more scroll through an endless feed, or adding one more comment in an argument that's going absolutely nowhere. The form of the temptation has changed, for sure, but the core challenge, it remains exactly the same. So, the big question is, how can we actually apply this ancient wisdom to our own lives? How might it sound in our daily conversations and decisions? Well, you might say something just like this. This shows an awareness not just of your own desire to speak, but of the energy in the room and the needs of other people. It's that simple, but powerful, act of recognizing that the right moment has been reached and it's time to stop. Learn Chinese one story at a time.